Ever heard of a talking donkey saving someone's life? It sounds like something out of a fairy tale, but it's actually a wild story from the Bible. Let's dive into the tale of a man named Balaam, his stubborn donkey, and a life-changing encounter. Our story starts with a king named Balak. He was terrified of the Israelites, God's chosen people, who were camped near his land. He thought, if I can get someone to curse them, maybe they'll be weakened, and I can defeat them. So, he sent for a well-known prophet named Balaam, offering him a huge reward to come and curse Israel. Now, Balaam knew he shouldn't go against God's people. God even told him directly, do not go with them. You must not put a curse on those people, because they are blessed. But Balak was persistent. He sent even more important officials, with even bigger promises of wealth and honor. The temptation was too much for Balaam. Greed started to cloud his judgment. He told the officials he'd ask God again, hoping God might change his mind. This time, God said he could go, but only to speak the words God gave him. So, Balaam saddled his donkey and set off. But God was not happy with Balaam's greedy heart. As Balaam trotted along the road, God sent an angel to stand in his path, holding a drawn sword. The thing is, Balaam couldn't see the angel, but his donkey could. Suddenly, the donkey saw this terrifying figure blocking the way and veered off the road into a field. Balaam was furious. He had no idea why his perfectly good donkey was misbehaving. He beat the donkey and forced her back onto the path. They continued on, and the path narrowed, with walls on both sides. Again, the angel of the Lord stood in the way. The donkey, trying to avoid the angel, pressed herself against one of the walls, crushing Balaam's foot. "Ouch!" Balaam yelled, even angrier than before. He beat his poor donkey again for her strange behavior. They kept going, and the path became so narrow there was no room to turn left or right. For a third time, the angel stood in the path. This time, the donkey had nowhere to go. She simply lay down in the middle of the road, right under Balaam. Balaam completely lost his temper. He was so enraged that he started beating his donkey with his staff for the third time. He was so focused on his own plans and the money he was promised that he couldn't see what was really happening. He just saw a disobedient animal ruining his important journey. And then, the most incredible thing happened. God did something completely unexpected. He opened the donkey's mouth, and she spoke. Yes, you heard that right. The donkey looked at Balaam and said, "What have I done to you to make you beat me these 3 times?" Can you imagine the shock on Balaam's face? He was in a full-blown argument with his own donkey. He was so blinded by rage, he actually answered her back. He yelled, "You have made a fool of me. If I had a sword in my hand, I would kill you right now." The donkey replied calmly, "Am I not your own donkey, which you have always ridden to this very day? Have I ever been in the habit of doing this to you?" And Balaam had to admit, no, it took a talking donkey to finally get Balaam's attention. Just then, God opened Balaam's eyes, and there, standing in the road, was the angel of the Lord, with his sword drawn and ready. The sight was so overwhelming that Balaam fell face down on the ground. The angel said to him, "Why have you beaten your donkey these 3 times? I have come here to oppose you, because your path is a reckless one before me. The donkey saw me and turned away from me these 3 times. If she had not turned away, I would certainly have killed you by now, but I would have spared her." In that moment, everything clicked. The donkey wasn't being stubborn. She was saving his life. Balaam's greed had almost led him to his death. Humbled and ashamed, Balaam confessed, "I have sinned. I did not realize you were standing in the road to oppose me. Now if you are displeased, I will go back." But the angel told him to continue his journey, with a strict warning. "Go with the men, but speak only what I tell you." So Balaam went on to meet King Balak, and when the time came for him to speak, did he curse Israel? Absolutely not. Instead of curses, beautiful blessings came out of his mouth. 3 times Balak took him to different places, hoping for a different result. And 3 times Balaam blessed God's people, just as God commanded. He couldn't do anything else. King Balak was furious, but there was nothing he could do. Balaam had finally learned his lesson. What a funny and powerful story, right? A man so blinded by greed that his own donkey had more spiritual sense than he did. It's a great reminder for all of us. Sometimes we're so focused on what we want, our own plans, our own ambitions, that we become blind and deaf to God's guidance. God can use anything or anyone to get our attention. It might not be a talking donkey, but it could be a friend's advice, a gut feeling, or even a frustrating obstacle that makes us stop and think. The real question is, are we listening? Are our hearts open to His direction, even when it's unexpected or seems to block our path? This story teaches us that God's detours are often His protection. He sees the dangers we can't, and sometimes a frustrating no is actually a life-saving, "I've got something better for you." So let us try to be a little less like Balaam and a little more like his donkey, attentive to the things of God that others might miss. Let us listen for His voice in the surprising moments and trust that His way is always the best way, even when we don't understand it.